With Utah's legislature passing a bill to bring back the firing squad and a shortage of lethal injection drugs facing the states, expect to hear more debate about this once abandoned method of execution.
Senators voted 18-10 in favor of the bill tonight. It would be a backup in the event lethal injection is not available.
Utah's bill puts it closest to being the next state to use the firing squad, but similar efforts are also taking place in other states. Wyoming State House of Representatives approved a firing squad bill last month, and similar measures have been introduced in Missouri, Arkansas, and elsewhere.
Texas is next. They're about to run out of the lethal injection drugs, and they too may have to do what Utah's doing, as well as a couple other states. We may be having death by firing squad in quite a few states.
All of the bills stipulate that lethal injection is still the state's preferred method of execution, and that firing squads would only be used if lethal injection drugs weren't available. But that now seems a matter of when, not if, their stockpiles run out. Drug maker Hospira stopped making one of the drugs used in lethal injections in 2011. As supplies dried up, states began using their own untested cocktails. But that resulted in botched executions in Ohio, Oklahoma, and Arizona, where it took between 25 minutes and nearly 2 hours for inmates to die. That's part of the way legislators are selling the firing squad to the public, that it's actually more humane than lethal injections with untested drug cocktails. The representative behind Utah's bill told Al Jazeera,
"The firing squad happens within 3 to 5 seconds. And so, if you really want the quickest, most humane way to put somebody to death, the firing squad is certainly one of those options."
And they might actually have a point. One researcher told NPR last year,
"I've looked at every execution between 1890 and 2010. There are more botched lethal injections than any other technology used during the course of the 20th century.
Utah's last firing squad execution was for convicted murderer Ronnie Lee Gardner. Here's how a victim's family member described the scene.
They put the hood on his head, and we waited for just a few minutes, and you heard the gunshots go off, and then you saw that he quit breathing, he died.
Ironically, one of the main reasons states adopted lethal injection is because it was thought to be more humane, downright peaceful even. In the wake of the botched executions, those both opposed to and in favor of the death penalty say that was always just meant to make the public feel more comfortable. Last year, a Ninth Circuit court judge lamented lethal injections for making execution look, quote, serene and peaceful, saying, if we as a society want to carry out executions, we should be willing to face the fact that the state is committing a horrendous brutality on our behalf. MSNBC host Chris Hayes, on the other side of the aisle, made the same point in response to the Utah bill.
At least it's reliable. So is beheading, Saudi Arabia's method of choice, or hanging, how Iran executes its prisoners. All these methods may be brutal, but they are at least honest.
In addition to firing squad, there are several states that still allow electrocution, hanging, or even the gas chamber. Utah is the only state to execute someone by firing squad since the death penalty was reinstated in 1976. For Newsy, I'm Jay Struberg.